Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jai Hind, Namaskar. So I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good morning, I am good. So I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Okay. So I welcome you all to the session of daily newspaper editorial analysis. And in today's session, we are going to discuss three important articles, three important editorials. One is with respect to the CM office. You may have seen that in West Bengal there has been election and the party which was there in power, it has lost the election. So now the existing chief minister of the state, she has decided that she will not be resigning from her post. Okay. So in that context, we will see that what are the constitutional provisions for this part. Second topic which we are going to discuss is with respect to the health system. And the third topic is about the lessons from Operation Sindoor. There are lessons from the Operation Sindoor, that how the things have changed, how the things have reformed in part of Operation Sindoor. Yes, so there are reports of violence from West Bengal, which is very much disturbing. One second. There are certain reports of violence which is quite much disturbing also. It should not have been there. Elections are part and parcel of the political system. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but violence is never the solution. Okay. So let's start. Okay. Through this editorial session, you will be able to get your syllabus. Okay. This is something where we are completing the syllabus also, especially of GS paper 2 and GS paper 3. This is also going to help you in notes making, answer writing, and also the perspective development on different topics. So this is one thing which we are trying to achieve through our editorial sessions. So now let's start with the topic. This article is there that what if the CM refused to resign? What if the CM refuses to resign from her post? Now, I think you all are aware about this one context, that the Chief Minister of West Bengal, she has said that she will not be resigning from her office. She has said that the elections has not been free and fair. So what is the ground? What is the ground? She has said that there has been like no fair elections. She has said that no fair elections, and especially she has said that about the deletion of voters, from during SIR, So we have discussed this one topic of SIR also, that what challenges has been there in SIR. That is a different topic which we have discussed from the editorial perspective. Okay. Now here, when we talk about West Bengal condition, so what is the constitutional provisions with respect to this? When we talk about any state, when we talk about any of the chief ministers, so we have to first know that what is the constitutional status with respect to that. That can a CM do this? Okay. So now see, as per the constitution, there is Article 164. There is Article 164. Now this Article 164, it says that basically, it says this simple part, that the chief minister is going to be appointed by CM, to be appointed by governor. Now at the same time, ministers, they also to be appointed by governor. And here it has been said that they are going to hold their office, they are going to hold the office during the pleasure of governor. Ministers hold office during the pleasure of governor. Now see this one line. It's very crucial part. It says that the ministers hold the office during the pleasure of the governor. It simply means that the governor, if we go for the literal reading of this, if we go for the literal reading of this one line, it means that the governor can remove the minister at any point of time. So generally when we read this, it simply appears that the governor can remove them at any point of time. So now the question is, can governor remove them? Can the governor remove them? Can governor remove them using his discretion? So now the question is this, that can the governor, now question here is that can the governor remove the chief minister or the minister of a state by his own discretion? Can they do it? Can the governor remove a minister or a chief minister using his own discretion? The answer is no. The answer is no. Okay. Here we have to understand it is basically on the basis of, it is basis on the basis of council of ministers, on the basis of advice of council of ministers. Okay. So it can be done only, it can be done only on the basis of the advice of the council of ministers. Otherwise it cannot be done. So it has to be on the basis of, it has to be on the basis of council of minister. It cannot be simply arbitrarily done by the governor. So here we have this one thing also. Here we have a case also that AG Ferrari Wallen versus the state through Superintendent of Police case 2022. So in this case also, Supreme Court has again reaffirmed this one basic thing, that like governor is basically the formal head. Governor is only the formal head. It has been said that it is the governor is just a formal head. Governor is just a formal head. He is not having the real power. The governor is not having the this actual power. He is just the formal head, and at the same time he is bound by add an advice of council of minister. So here it has also been made sure that the governor cannot remove a minister or a chief minister by his own discretion. The governor cannot remove a minister or a chief minister using his or her own discretion. It is on the basis of advice of council of minister. It is on the basis of advice of council of minister. So now what if the chief minister is not resigning? Okay. What options is there? Suppose that if a new government is formed, if there is a new legislative assembly, or if there is lack of confidence, so in both these cases there can be use of floor test. Suppose that there is a new legislative assembly, or if there is a government which is existing but there is a lack of confidence, means they are not having the proper support, then governor can recommend a floor test. Then the governor can recommend a floor test for proving the majority. If they prove the majority, they can remain as CM or ministers. If they are failing to prove the majority in the house, then they will be removed from the office. So in a new legislative assembly, this is the provision. And in that case, there can be the imposition of the precedent rule. If there is no party which can prove majority, okay, remember one thing, if no party can prove majority, if no party proves majority, then there is going to be the precedent rule imposition. Then there is going to be the imposition of the precedent rule. Now here the thing is, what if C is not resigning? Okay. What if C is not resigning? What if the Chief Minister of Bengal refuses to resign? Now see this one thing, there is one provision called Article 172. So this provides the tenure of legislative assembly. This provides the tenure of legislative assembly. And what we see that the tenure of the legislative assembly is 5 years. So in case of West Bengal, 7th May, it is going to be the last date. The 7th of May means today is going to be the last day. Today is going to be the last day of the assembly which was created last time. The assembly which was created last time. So today 7th of May is the last day for that legislative assembly. Okay. So what we see that the tenure here is 5 years. So it is going to be over on 7th of May. So then after, once the tenure is over, then automatically the existing CM ceases to be CM. So once the legislative assembly is automatically dissolved, then she will cease to be the CM of West Bengal. Okay. Even if they lose, still they will prove the majority. Nay, once they have lost, how they will prove the majority? Simple thing is, like if you have to prove the majority, you have to first give a letter. Suppose there is, take an example. In case of Tamil Nadu, no party has majority. No party has majority. In case of Tamil Nadu, no party has majority as of now. Okay. So what they will do? They will give a letter to the governor first that we can prove our majority in the legislative assembly. We can prove our majority in the legislative assembly. They will request the governor first. Then governor will give them the option that okay, there will be a legislative sitting and in that you can prove the majority. You can prove the majority. So then in that situation they will have to prove the majority, and if they fail to prove the majority, they will have to be resigned. They will have to resign as Chief Minister. But in case of West Bengal, in the new legislative assembly, the previous party has no figures even close to majority. So there is no question on this that they will be given the option of floor test. They will not be getting the option of floor test because they don't even have a number which is even close to the number of seats required for forming a government. So this is one part. They will not be getting the option also because they don't have the desired number of seats for making the government. So I hope this process is clear, that if someone has to form a government, then what are the constitutional provision for this? English medium hai kya? Yes, this is English medium. In case of Tamil Nadu, what we see that there is a requirement of near about 118 seats. There is a requirement of 118 seats. The new party, the TVK, it has got something around 107 or 8 seats. I am not aware about the exact number, but I think 107 or 108 seats are there. So they require a minimum of 118 seats in order to form the government. Now, if they are getting support from some of the other political parties, if they are getting support from some other political parties, then they may be able to form the government in Tamil Nadu. Now, what we see here, that why they will be given the first priority. They have to be provided the first priority. Why? Because that is the single largest party which has got the maximum number of seats there. In case of Tamil Nadu, this is the party having the maximum number of seats there, and there is no such pre-existing alliance which has got more seats than this party. There is no alliance, no party which has got more seats than this. It is very close to the number. So hence they will be given the first option to prove their majority in the legislative assembly. The post-poll coalition can be there, but the first priority will come to the single largest party. If they are not able to give the numbers in required time, then yes, post-poll alliances may also be formed. Yes, post-poll alliance means after the election, you are making alliance. Before the election, there was no alliance. So after the election, there can be alliance between different parties. Now, coming to this one part, second article, which is related to health system. So I hope this Tamil Nadu case is clear. In case of West Bengal, the number of seats required is near about 150, I think 147, 188, 148. So the TMC party is far away from the majority. Now here we are coming to the next part, the structural deficit in the Indian health system. Yes, Vinita Gupta, this is only for English medium. We have a Hindi medium class also in the evening. We have a class in Hindi medium also, but in evening at 6 p.m. $298. So they need 149, I guess, 150 seats for making the government. Now, coming to this one part, this article is talking about the health system in India. This is talking about the health system in India. What is the announcement? There was an announcement which was made, and the announcement said that there is going to be 43 new medical colleges. There is 43 new medical college which has been set up during 2025-26. During this 2025-26, there are 43 new medical colleges which has been set up. But what we see that there are certain facts. There is one thing called as community health center. And here what we see that the vacancy is 79.9%. This is the vacancy in community health center. Then what we see that in AIIMS also, what we see that out of 11, in case of 11 AIIMS, there is 40% vacancy. In case of AIIMS, AIIMS is considered as one of the most premier health institutes, government health institutes in India. So what you see, there is one thing called as community health center, and we see that there is a 79.9% vacancy in that. There is total 18 AIIMS in India, out of which 11 AIIMS are having a vacancy of 40%. When we talk about this CHC, there is on an average approximately there is on an average approximately 7 CHC center, 7 CHC center per district. Okay. So what we see that the number is quite high. Okay. The number is quite high. Like we have got something around 7 CHC per district. We have got around 7 CHC per district, but all of them are having a vacancy, cumulative vacancy of 79.9%. So what we see that there is 7 community health center per district, but overall the community health center are having a vacancy of 79.9%. AIMS is having a vacancy of 40%. So now the question is, what are we doing with these medical colleges? What are we doing with these medical colleges? We have got so many medical colleges, we have got so many seats now. Okay. So we see that there is creation of 8,967 new seats for postgraduates, means PG doctor. PG doctors are very much well qualified. So there is around 9,000 new seats for PG doctors. But the question here is that if there are so many doctors in India, so why we are having a vacancy of 79.9%? It is almost 80% vacancy, 80% vacancy that is there in community health centers of India. That is the first important part. Now the question is, like when we talk about this community health center, so what exactly is the definition of this community health center? What facilities are being provided in a community health center? When we talk about this, this is like provided for a population of 1 CHC per 1.6 to 2 lakh people. One community health center is provided per 1.6 to 2 lakh population. Okay. It is going to have 30 beds. This is something which is going to have 30 beds. Okay. At the same time, it is going to have 5 specialists. It is going to have 5 specialists. It is something which is going to have 5 specialists. Okay. So this is one requirement. This is one requirement. We are going to have 1 CHC per 1.6 to 2 lakh population. There is approximately 30 beds in it and 5 specialists which are there. 5 specialists which are there in one community health center. So it is not a primary health care. See, primary health care is different. Primary health care is at village level or block level. Primary health care is at village level or block level. This is a larger model. It is having 30 bed. So 30 bed is like a huge infrastructure. 30 bed is a huge infrastructure. So it is not a small primary health care center. This is a main like a government hospital. This is a main government hospital. It should have a minimum of 5 specialists, 30 beds. So this is the requirement. And here itself we see that we are having approximately 7 CHC per district, but the vacancy is around 80%. The vacancy is around 80%. So now the question is, why we are not having doctors here? Okay. Why the doctors are not going to this area? It's not that we are not having doctors. Doctors are looking for jobs, doctors are looking for opportunities. So why doctors are not going over there? Why the doctors are not going over to the community health centers? We see that there is an inadequate facility, lack of equipment, there is a lack of decent staff quarter, there is a lack of schools for their children, and lack of adequate peer medical support. Okay. So we see that all these things are missing there. why the doctors are not moving to the community health centers. You can see this part, that there is a lack of the basic facilities, there is a lack of facilities for their families, there is a lack of proper staff quarters and everything. So suppose a doctor has done PG, they have given a significant time of their life reading about all the diseases, all the medicines, practicing and everything. And then after, if they are not able to provide good facilities for their family, why they will go there? Why the good doctors are going to go to community health center? Why they will work there? It's not that the government is paying too much. Okay. So what we see that, like, why this problem is there? Why we are seeing this problem? What we see that there is focus on raw infrastructure. There is a focus on raw infrastructure. Like, whenever we talk about the budget, the central budget is focused on just the infrastructure. So there is lack of support. There is lack of focus on drugs, diagnostics. There is a lack of focus on drug, diagnostics, ambulances. At the same time, emergency care, timely salary for contract workers. So government is making just buildings. Government is making just buildings, not hospitals. That is one of the major challenges. We are creating buildings for hospitals, but we are not actually building the hospitals. So that is one of the part. There is a very good mall looking infrastructure. But again, if we go there and if there is no medicine, if there is no such thing, okay. So what we see that if we are having just the raw infrastructure like the building and we are lacking the basic health essentials, so how then it is going to be a hospital? How it is going to be a hospital? Okay. So this is one of the part. Okay. So what we see, if there is a focus on just the infrastructure, the buildings and others, but the focus has been lacking. There has been no such adequate measure in these parts. Okay. So now the question is, what can be done? What can be done? Like, what can be the solution for this? What can be the solution for this? Here it has been said that we are having 7 CHC per district, which according to this author is not suitable. Rather than having 7 CHC, we can have few CHC, but it can have no vacancies. Okay. So rather than increasing the quantity, rather than 7 CHC with a few specialists, we can have a few CHC with all specialists. So this is one part. Rather than having 7 CHC per district, what we can see that we can have a few CHC, but there can be full specialist in them. There can be all specialists in them. Then of course, the focus on budgetary allocation. Budgetary allocation for essentials like drug, diagnostics, ambulances, etc. So like you were asking now one question, that are we building only infrastructure? Are we building only buildings of it? So there is a very popular case. There is a district in Bihar, Darbhanga. If you search about that, you will find that a very modern class infrastructure has been created there. A very modern class infrastructure has been created there. It is an open field with a gate in that. An entire open field is there, and we are having a gate which is entry to that open field. And that is one of the renowned hospitals in Darbhanga, Bihar. Okay. So, our focus is on making huge infrastructure. So there you will find that huge infrastructure has been created. There is no other buildings, there is no other things. Only a gate has been created for a large open field, and the gate is having the name of the hospital. So that is one thing which has been created. So there you can get the best quality of treatment. So now what we see, to focus on budgetary allocation for essentials like drug, diagnostics, ambulances, etc. can be done. The third part which you can see is, like, why the doctors are not going over there? Lack of amenities. Lack of amenities for doctor. Like staff quarters, good schools, etc. So then we also see that there is one suggestion. We can see that the medical education is quite costly, quite expensive. So government should give some subsidy on that education, and they can make a deal with the doctors. Like suppose that there are students going out in private medical institutions also. So government can make a deal with them that you can study in that institution, we are going to fund your education, but at the same time, you have to serve for 5 years or 10 years in a community health center. Of course, you are going to be paid for that. It's not an intern type thing, but you are going to be paid for that. But you have to give 5 years or 10 years in a community health center. Okay. So this is a practice which is common in many countries. So medical education can be linked with mandatory service for a fixed tenure in CHC. That government can support the students. Government can support students, but they can give them this deal that, okay, we are funding your education, we are giving you the entire money, but then yes, you will have to serve for, let's say, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, whatever the deal may be. So then they can make a deal with the students that you have to give this much time. So every year you are getting some committed, postgraduates. You are getting some postgraduates who will be working in the community health centers. So yes, you can have doctors. There are so many people who will be ready for this. So that is also one of the options which we have to do in case of improving our health ecosystem. So I hope ये clear है आप सबको. I hope this part is clear. This editorial is clear. कि what is the issue with the healthcare system? Wastage of money. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part. So here we have the Operation Sindoor. Okay. Here we have this one thing, Operation Sindoor. I think you all may be aware about this Operation Sindoor. Last year around the same time, Operation Sindoor was conducted. Okay. Last year around the same time, Operation Sindoor was conducted. So tell me one thing. What do you know about this Operation Sindoor? Like, what was our strategy? In case of Operation Sindoor, what was our strategy? What strategy we have adopted during this Operation Sindoor? Yes, around 7th of May, that's correct. So last year around the same time, we were watching new channels and we were thinking about the moment when we are going to have lunch in Lahore or Islamabad, because news channels have shown us last year around the same time that next time your dinner can be in Lahore, because we are including that in Indian territory. It can be in Sindh, it can be in Karachi. So around the same time, the new channels have also shown us a completely different picture. So now, 1 year later, if we try to evaluate that during this Operation Sindoor, what was the lesson which we have got? What lessons which we have got? First of all, what was our strategy? What was our strategy? What was our strategy? What we have done? In the case of this Operation Sindoor, what we have done is we have been able to ensure that we have avoided a full-scale conventional war. We have avoiding full-scale conventional war. We have avoided a full-scale conventional war. During this same time, whole of government approach means every ministry, every part of the government, from like ruling party to the opposition to everyone, was saying in the same voice, at least till the time when Operation Sindoor was going on. When the Operation Sindoor was going on, you may have seen at that time there was a complete silence. No one was saying anything against it. Later on, there would be, of course, debate on it, discussion on it. That is part and parcel. But during the Operation Sindoor, everyone was silent on this, that what is being done. So a whole of government approach was taken. Every ministry, everyone was involved in it. Okay. There was normal civilian activities going on. Normal civilian activities going on. So we see that the normal civilian activities was going on. It was not like a wartime situation. Normal civilian activity was going on, of course with caution, of course with like taking extra caution in border areas, but the normal activities were going on throughout the country. Then we also see there was part and parcel of this one part where we have seen that we have also maintained diplomatic relations with other countries. We have maintained diplomatic relations with other countries. We have informed the world. We have informed the world about terror activities of Pakistan. About terror activities of Pakistan. And the entire Indian attack was focused on the terrorist establishments, not on civilian infrastructure. There was no target on civilian infrastructure. No targeting of civilian infrastructure. There was no such targeting of civilian infrastructure. You can see in the Iran and US war, you may have seen last day also, India has condemned the Iran's attacking of civilian facilities in United Arab Emirates. Okay. So what we see that we have always followed this policy that never attack a civilian infrastructure. You can attack military infrastructure, you can attack terrorist infrastructure. So what we see that we have worked on these parts. We have integrated cyber capabilities. During this time, we have seen that there was integration there was integration of, first is cyber capabilities. There was a lot of misinformation campaign. There was a lot of misinformation campaign which was being carried out by Pakistan and China. So there was a cyber capabilities that was also integrated. Then we see that electronic warfare and surveillance system were also active. Electronic warfare, the surveillance system. Then we have seen intelligence network. Intelligence network. So there was integration of all of them, which was essential for the whole of government approach. We were not just working in one part, we were trying to make sure that the operation was very much effective. Everything was taken in consideration. So now this one thing, like what we see here, that this is one thing which we have learned, this we have something which we have got from Operation Sindoor. But there are lessons. There are certain lessons from Operation Sindoor. What is that lesson? First thing is the future threats. The future threats will not a conventional war. We are not going to have a conventional war. We are not going to have a conventional war. Rather than that, there will be hybrid warfare. Okay. There will be a hybrid warfare. There will be attack on digital economy. There is going to be an attack on digital economy. There is going to be an attack on the digital economy also. There is also proxy networks and information warfare. There is going to be an information warfare. A proxy war is going to be there. A proxy war is going to be there. There is not going to be a conventional war. Okay. It will be faster. The future war, it is going to be faster and multi-domain. It is going to be faster. It is going to be multi-domain. It is going to be multi-domain war. At the same time, so this will be like something which will be challenging. The future threats, it is going to include, it is going to target. There is going to be a target. The target is going to be on what? Urban center, digital infrastructure. Okay. There will be a focus on urban centers, digital infra, social narrative. Okay. And at the same time, it is something which is trying to like create panic. It is something which will like also target economic system. So see, if we see the nature, it is going to be faster. Okay. It is going to be a hybrid warfare. There will be attack on digital economy, information warfare, proxy war. It is not going to be conventional, it is going to be a hybrid warfare. It is going to target not just the boundaries, it is going to target these things. Faster means like, see, it is not going to be like stretched over 1 week or 2 weeks or 5 months or 6 months. It is going to be a quick war. It will be for a quick period of time. During war or fighting between two countries, what is the role of cyber attack? See, If you have to challenge a country, there is one way that you are challenging it militarily. If you are challenging it militarily, it will try to resist it. All the countries have military now, they have weapons now, they will try to do it. But if you are creating a panic in the society, let's say that there is a panic that India will not be getting oil. Let's say there is a proxy warfare, a misinformation campaign which is being started, a conspiracy theory which is started on internet that India will not be getting any oil from Iran now. Now you may be aware about this, that right now we are in a situation where the relations with India and Iran is not at very best level, and Strait of Hormuz is still largely under control of Iran. So in this situation, if someone creates a narrative on social media, if a group starts a narrative on social media that India is going to get no oil from Iran for the next 3 months or 4 months, so then what will do? There will be a panic in the country. There is going to be a panic in the country. So a misinformation campaign can create. Then at the same time, it may target some of the very important public institution websites. Like suppose that the website of hospitals, the websites of banks, the websites of hospitals, they can be impacted. So when they are impacted, then again it is going to be challenged. There can be more cases of digital threats. There can be more cases of cyber crime related to person in general. So this is one thing which is going to take place in the future conflicts. Multi-domain means it is not going to be just in one unidirectional. It will not be a fight between army, navy or air force only. There will be a multi-domain war, a war in case of economy also, a war in case of the social narrative also. That if someone is creating a tension in India through communal sentiments, through using communal sentiments, then there will be challenge within the country. Suppose a country is at war with another nation and there is a civilian unrest in the country, like what has been done in Iran. What has been done in Iran before the Iran-US conflict, that there was a civilian unrest in Iran. It's not that the Iran is not having its problem, but see the timing of the protest. The timing of the protest was just before the US-Iran escalation or Iran and Israel conflict. That during that timing itself, there was a lot of protest which was going on in Iran. There was a lot of movements which were going on in Iran. So what we see that there is a social war which is also being created, an economic war. Can be a diplomatic isolation also. There can be a diplomatic isolation also. So multi-domain means in all the different fields, from economy to the social narratives, to the war on the ground, to the diplomatic issues. In all these sections, in external and internal domains, there can be problems which can be created. There can be problems related to supply chains which can start. So what we see that all these problems can be there, a multi-domain problem. It will not be restricted just that we are just having a simple war. A war can be multi-dimensional. So I hope that part is clear now. So this is one thing which we have got to learn, and we have to prepare according to them. That we have to prepare for them. We have to build resilience for it. We have to be prepared for all these portions. So on the basis of this, we have a question here. First, the Operation Sindoor reflects that modern warfare are no longer confined just to traditional battlefields. Comment. Okay. Then second question is, there is a need to focus on community health center to bring resilience in public health system in India. Examine the challenges related to CHC and suggest measures. So both these questions are there. So I hope you can write answer for them. इन दोनों का आंसर लिख सकते हैं आप सभी लोग? Now, coming to the first question, now we are coming to this part of answer writing. Okay. So we have this one question. This is part of your answer writing. A constitutional state derives its legitimacy not from the speed of punishment but from its unimpeachable principles and the fairness of process. Analyze this in context of bulldozer justice. So tell me, how many of you have written this answer? कितने लोगों ने इसका आंसर लिखा है? Have you written answer for this? How you have started this question? How much time you have taken to write this answer? It was in 150 words. So now in this question, what you can do? First of all, you can give the introduction. In the introduction, you can start with the current context. You can start with the current context, that how bulldozer action has been done across the country in multiple states. How bulldozer action has been there across the country. You can start with that part of emergency period also. You can start with this historical period also. Yes, you can start from there. So you can start this part of the current context, or you can give the historical perspective also with respect to this. Historical plus current also. So this is one part which can start with respect to the bulldozer justice. 9 minutes for answer writing and started with current facts. Good. 9 minutes. So I think now we are reaching there. If I am not wrong, we are reaching there, that now you are writing the answers within 7, 8 or 9 minutes. So you have been writing answer in 8 or 9 minutes. So we are reaching there. When we have started this just 1 month back, today we are on 7th of May, and just 1 month back when we have started answer writing through these editorials. So for the first time, you may have taken more than 15 or 20 minutes. Now this has come back to 7 to 8 minutes. So within 1 month, you can see the improvement in yourself. Within 1 month, you can see that introduction, that now if you are starting the introduction, you are itself telling that we have started with historical period also, started with current context of it also. So that's it's very good. Okay. So this is one of the part that you have started with this. That's quite good. Now, what we see that in this question, the question is in context of bulldozer justice. So here you can talk about this, that bulldozer justice, why this is emerging, why emergence of bulldozer justice. You can write this part, emergence of bulldozer justice. You can give the reasons behind it. You can talk about this, that what are the challenges with respect to the bulldozer justice. And then you can give the solution part also. If you want, you can make a flow chart of it. You can make a flow chart of it. And at the end, in the conclusion, you can give mention of the rule of law. You can especially mention this rule of law. Okay. So this is one thing which is expected to be written in this answer, that you can start with this current context, the historical plus current aspect. You can give about this, that why this bulldozer justice is being taken into consideration right now. Then you can mention about this part, that what are the challenges with respect to bulldozer justice, how it is compromising. And when you are writing the answer, you have to mention these part, the principles and fairness of the process. Okay. you have to mention that how it is impacting the principles and the fairness in the case of challenges with respect to the bulldozer justice. Then in solution, you can make a flow chart because you have to write only in 150 words. So when you have to write in 150 words, make use of flow charts. And then you can make this conclusion with rule of law. Okay. So I think you all have written the answer in a similar manner. So dekho, I think now I don't need to tell. I think now you all have got that part, that how you have to write the answer. You have, see, this is the part that when you are writing on daily basis, when you are writing on daily basis, what we see that when you are writing this on daily basis, then you are like aligning with that proper framework. And when you have aligned yourself with proper framework, then you will find that the time required to write this will come down. Okay. So the time required to write this, answer will also come down. So I think now you are matching that part also in the context of what has to be written, plus you are also going in the time manner also. So that's, yes, that's quite good for me also, that yes, you have been able to write answers in a good manner. Okay. So thank you so much for writing the answers. Then we will meet again tomorrow. You have to write these two answers also. ये दोनों आंसर आपको लिखने हैं. Now just think about this. That if you continue to write this, we are here in the month of May. And most of you are targeting for 2027. So suppose that next year the mains exam is going to be when? Mains exam is going to be in August 2027. If you are writing the answers from now onwards, daily 2 answers on a continuous basis, just think about this. What command you are going to get over answer writing? We are going to have 6 days classes. Okay, so 12 answers. Take an average. If you are writing 10 answers per week, so still we have got like this month plus 1 year, 52 plus 4, 56. Okay, and like if we calculate May, June, July, 3 months plus 1 year, so you are having near about 65 weeks. You are having near about 65 weeks. Okay, so 65 weeks, and per week you are writing 10 to 12 answers. Per week you are writing 10 to 12 answers. So you can see that just from the current affair aspect, and I know that you will be writing other answers also. You will be writing answers of GS also. You will be writing answers of optional also. So think about this. If you are maintaining this consistency, and when you have to write in the mains examination, if you write on a regular basis, I assure you that you will not have to look for content. You will not have to look for any skill for answer writing. You will write the best answer in the exam. Okay. So thank you everyone. Just keep this one goal in mind. We have to work for the next 65 weeks. And if you are writing on a consistent basis, if you are writing on a daily basis, okay, so then you are going to get selected in the mains examination. You have to prepare for interview also now. So see, you have to prepare for the interview also now. If you are dedicating yourself to write for the next 65 weeks, then start your preparation for interview. Okay. Thank you everyone. Take care and all the best. Thank you.